Hey guys, this is Brandon. This video is all about the Meepo Flow electric skateboard. We're gonna do a full unboxing and review. We're gonna test the specs, put it to its limits, and I'll let you guys know what I think. I can't wait to try it out. I have a ton of long boards, mini boards, and other electrical transportation devices, but this one's kind of unique just because of the size and the shape of it. The form and function should be pretty interesting and pretty fun to test out. Let's go ahead, unbox it, and get started. The Meepo Flow blends the aesthetics of a surfboard with the innovation of an electric skateboard. It promises agility, style, and a seamless urban surfing experience. The Meepo Flow comes with 4 riding modes, from beginner to pro. It's equipped with 12 S2P Molicell P42A batteries, which just means that this is a huge battery, especially for this board size. It's 362 watt hours and 8.4 amp hours. They advertise that this battery will last a long distance of 24 miles and hit a top speed of 32 miles per hour, capable of climbing 26% hill grades. They're utilizing a Hobbywing ESC. It's the FOC36A with ultra precise controls. This board is rocking 2 huge belt drive motors, 2,519 watts each. Meepo says that they're using their standard Cyclone wheels, which are 105mm polyurethane wheels. The unique width of the board, along with the split tail, enhances maneuverability, allowing for quick turns and agility. It also comes with sandblasted grip tape and a black padded tail pad. The deck is made out of 2-ply fiberglass, 2-ply bamboo, and 5-ply Canadian maple. This is a pretty unique board. So those are the specs coming directly from Meepo's website. Let's do a real test as a 190-pound rider and see what my max speed and my max distance is. And I would like to mention that during this test, I rode uphill, downhill, stop signs, stop and go traffic, downtown area, a suburban neighborhood, a lot of straight, flat area. I did multiple different terrains just to give it a true real world feel type of test. Alright, so I did the top speed test for you guys, and I have to say I did get a little bit of speed wobble. I did tighten the trucks beforehand, but as I got to the top, I felt like there was a little more throttle. I could have given it maybe 1 or 2 more miles per hour, but I started to get that little wobble, so I just released the throttle. I puckered up a little bit and thought to myself, man, I'm getting too old for this. But I released the throttle, I rode it out, I didn't have to jump off and bail out. I did it successfully for you guys. For me, the top speed was 29.1 miles per hour. That was pretty good. On this length of a board, that felt plenty fast enough. For the max distance, my goal on this board was to try and hit the 20 miles mark. So for me, my max distance was 21.4 miles on this board on one charge. That is awesome. That is really good. Okay, I think we're done nerding out on the statistics part. Let's talk about actually how fun this board was, how enjoyable it was, and who is this board made for. Once I loosened up the trucks after my top speed test, that's when this board really became a ton of fun. This board is very unique in this compared to all my other boards. Since it is a little smaller, it's much more agile. The design of this board is to truly feel like you're surfing. It's carving, snowboarding, surfing, that real flowy, mellow, vibey feel. And that's where this board excels at and kind of beats all the other boards, is how fun it is to maneuver. It's super agile. If you're in a downtown area like where I was riding, you can make sharp turns, U-turns, go through alleyways, dodge cones, whatever bumps, rocks, and stuff in the ground super easily just because of how agile it is. So it's very fun in an urban environment to ride this board compared to a long board, which is awesome for going straight and you can carve on it, but you can't make those quick little turns. The other thing that's super rad about this board and makes it a ton of fun is these belt drive motors. It is so fast. The torque on it is crazy. You can literally pop a manual without even trying. 3rd and 4th gear, when I'm pushing it, I have to gently roll onto it. As 190 pounds, it's lifting me up. So this thing has torque. As you can see, I had a ton of fun trying to ride that manual, finding that sweet spot and balancing it. That actually is one of the fun things about this board. With this tail, you can pop it up, you can ride those manuals. You can't do that on a traditional longboard. That being said, if you're a beginner rider, maybe go with a traditional longboard, or if you're gonna get this board, keep it in mode 1 or 2, because when that front end pops up, if you're not coordinated or good at your balance, you're gonna eat it. You're gonna have to jump off of this thing. So just be careful, at least when you're first starting, keep it in mode 1 or 2. This thing takes off in 3 and 4. You're gonna be doing manuals. You gotta lean forward and you gotta slowly accelerate. For those of you that have an e-board and maybe looking to get a second e-board, this is it. This is the tool that you need to keep you excited about e-boarding. It is so much fun to be able to maneuver like that and pop those manuals. In fact, it's good that the board comes with these skid plates. As you can see, I was skidding on these belt drive motors a lot, but this protects it. It keeps your board safe. It's a nice little addition that they gave you the protection here underneath. It's fun though, having this kicktail, just being able to pop it up, turn. If you're at a stoplight and you're getting on a sidewalk or off a sidewalk, you just pop it up. You know, it is convenient. The length is just right. I think this is the sweet spot for me. I'm probably gonna be using this board as my main board for transportation. It has the range, it has the acceleration, and the fun factor. A piece of the rubber on the tail did come off for me because, like I said, I'm using that kick tail. It's not a big deal, it's just a small thing, but I have to list to you guys the pros and the cons. So I guess that's a small con, is this rubber piece starting to come off already. These wheels did soak up most of the vibration, all the different terrain I was riding on, the concrete, and I even went over railroad tracks and it tolerated the railroad tracks just fine. And then the fact that they're the polyurethane, it just makes it stick to the ground like glue. You never feel like you're gonna slide out or slip out. I like the remote. It's your standard e-skate remote. Feels good ergonomically in the hand. I like that they gave you extra belts and the skate tools that come with the board. That's nice. If you're looking for a board that's different than most other boards that you can carve on, flow on, turn on a dime, and still accelerate right at that stoplight and keep up with traffic until you hit your top speed, this board is it. It's kind of like the Swiss Army knife, and it feels different. I've tried a lot of long boards, some mini boards, but this one definitely stands out amongst the rest of them just because of the design of it. If you found this review helpful, please hit the thumbs up button. Consider subscribing. I do other e-skate reviews on this channel, amongst other things, all kinds of rad stuff, reviews and adventures. So make sure to hit the subscribe button if you want more content just like this. I will leave a link in the description below. It's an affiliate link from Meepo. It won't cost you anything extra, but it'll give me a small percentage if you do click on it and end up purchasing this board, so I can continue to make videos just like this. And that's it, guys. I'll keep it short and sweet. I appreciate you. Thanks for watching. See you next time. And as usual, I'll remind you to get outside, stay hydrated, and keep on moving.